strategic move that Eddie is making for AJ? Why are you not thinking, let's get him set up for
kind of animal? If that was years and years and years ago. Like, Clarissa is a way different fighter from when she was back in.
Thanks to those joining me live and to those that will be joining me on our
defenses that she's had to have recently. You know, she's pulled people.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the RoundTable about tribalism. I don't think tribalism is necessarily bad. I just don't think it has to be.
I don't know what he think he sees or what he think he know. But he going to the hospital, bro. Like, bro, you not winning that fight.
You guys mentioned, I think, D-Style, you mentioned him versus Regis Program. I'd love, that sounds like a...
I don't need you, you know, and PBC and others, in my opinion, it's like, oh, this is my guy. Like, there's a relationship.
Flat out, it's tough, and we call box, and we go to the end of the round, and then...
That would say, what do you mean by acting flat? That's a fair question, but a participant of trash talk knows...
And they're announcing a fight 3-4 months from now. And he ain't going to fight. I bet you anything. He's not going to fight somebody as good as John Ryder. What's going on, everybody? D-Style here. This is another edition of the RoundTable, the 139th edition. I'm being joined by my co-host, Joe Habib from Ringside Reporter. Catch the RoundTable next week on his channel. We alternate every week. In the Ring with Christine returns to the RoundTable. This must be like her. I think she's had more appearances than Beeb. You know, but she's been here for a couple of times.
I got the gold watch. I got a gold watch. Don't stop.
You got the gold watch. And, of course, we have Crystal in the building as well. Crystal, welcome to the RoundTable. Glad to have you on. All right, let's get this one started, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so first things first, Nonito Donaire. I want to start with Nonito because he was going to fight this weekend. I had it on topics to talk about his fight, but he ain't going to fight this weekend, right? I'm not exactly sure what happened. However, his fight has been postponed to the undercard of Crawford versus Spence, so we are going to see it. I think it does enhance that pay-per-view, to be honest with you. I believe this will be his chance to become, what is it, a 10-time world champion?
Yeah, 10-time fighting for, yeah.
So I think that is a big deal for Nonito Donaire. It might even help a little bit with some of the pay-per-view buys and stuff like that. Joe Beeb, your reaction to this?
I'm wondering if this was probably maybe even a request because this is going to be a historic event, and maybe he just wanted to be part of it, right? I think it's going to generate a lot of pay-per-view buys. I think a lot of people are going to be there. So I think in his mind, he wants to be part of history. Obviously, he is part of history, but he wants to be part of another epic moment in his career. And I think this is the best welterweight fight in the last easily 20 years. So I think that speaks volumes for the event, and I think he wants to be part of it.
Okay, all right. Crystal, what's your reaction to this announcement?
I think it's wonderful. Why not? Put another historical card on an already historical card. Why not? It's great.
Okay, all right. Christine, you like it, or you looking, or would you rather have him been in the main event this Saturday?
No. I agree with both of them. I think that it's beautiful. Like I love to see it. This will be the 10th time that he's fighting for a world title. He's a legend, and at his age, with everything that he's accomplished, I mean, why not? Like, I'm so excited because I'm going to be there. You know, it just makes the card is already exciting. The main event is already exciting. This just adds, you know, a little bit of salt on it, you know, to make it taste better. So I'm excited. I love it.
A little bit sugar.
Yes,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Oh, look, I mean, I'm in agreement with you guys. I think it's, to me, what's the one thing we always complain about with undercards, especially on this side of the pond, right? We complain about the undercards. We complain about, you know, they're never any good. And to have someone, a future Hall of Famer like Nonito Donaire on the undercard, I think that's a big deal. Lady Chan in the building. How's it going?
In the building. What up, guys? Hi. Sorry, I'm a bit late. My bad. Sorry.
Hello.
No, you're good. We're just actually just getting started. We're still on that first topic. I just want to kind of let everybody know. Nonito Donaire was going to fight Alexandro Santiago, Frank Martin against Artem Haruchiyuyan. I don't really know how to pronounce that. Sorry, guys. But Frank Martin's going to be on the card. I assume he's going to be the main event now. Alves Rodriguez against Victor Postol is a fight I'm really looking forward to. We'll see about that fight. But now, Freitas Rojas, who I've actually interviewed before, will now be part of this. Yeah, it'll be part of a triple header. You know what? He's been waiting to be on television, and this move helps another fighter get on TV. So it's a win-win in a lot of ways. Lady Chan, Nonito Donaire against Alexandro Santiago will be on the undercard of Spence versus Crawford. Now they moved the fight. What
happened? I didn't know this
until
I was briefing. What happened?
I think it was by design. I just think, like Beef said, it was probably a request, or they made the decision so they could maybe enhance the card, maybe.
Interessante. I don't. Yeah, I don't really know much about Santiago. What's his name? Alejandro.
Santiago.
Yeah, I don't really. I've seen him fight, I think, once. I forget who it was against. So I don't. But I do remember having to pick him in the prediction league. But I'm going to go for, obviously, Nonito Donaire. I think this is his 10th or 11th title fight.
For sure.
So I'm going to go with Nonito, even though, how old is Nonito? 40?
40. On 40, yeah.
I'm giving him the knockout.
He's closing in on 41.
Yeah, I'm giving him the knockout.
Look, I'll say this. I mean, me and Calix talked about this on Tuesday. I have Nonito. I think Calix thinks Nonito's too old and washed up. And what are you saying,
Calix?
Not what I said.
You know what I mean? You might as well have said it.
He always discriminates for age. He always discriminates for age.
He's 41, and like I said, 41.
So he's taking shots at me because I'm
41. 41. Get the knockout for me. 41. I'm just saying. Hey, Beeb, when that fight comes and goes, who do you have in that fight? Santiago or Donaire?
Wow, that's a tough one.
Let me just check on this.
I think Santiago may edge it out, man. To be honest, Nonito's. I think he's got a lot of miles on him, and he didn't look great in his last fight. And you can say, "Oh, well, look who he was in there with," but in the same token, you know that those types of fights take a lot out of you, and they take even more out of you at that age. So the wear and tear at some point's got to add up. You can't keep going to the well like he's been doing. So as much as I would want him to win, I have a feeling he's not going to win.
Okay.
Can I just quickly say something? The reason why as well I have to go for the knockout, because I spoke to Rachel and I know what they say is what they say. So I've heard the training, what they've been putting in for the, because Santiago, he's a southpaw as well, right? So yeah, I'm sticking by it. Yeah, it's a knockout. KO.
Okay. Hey, Crystal, what do you favor in that fight?
Well, to be fair, Donaire, he have the reach advantage. He have the height advantage, right? Santiago is, I think, 3, possibly 5 inches shorter when I look it up. So age has a lot to do with this one, right? He's
not southpaw. Sorry.
He is orthodox. Both of them are orthodox, right?
Yeah, he is orthodox.
Yeah. So I have to go with Santiago, even though I really wish to see Donaire win.
Okay. All right. There we go. Christine, who you got? You got the old man, Donaire? Like, are you going to call him old? What's up? Or are you going to go for Santiago?
What makes you old? You know what?
According to Calix and Beeb, he's old. According to them, he don't got it no more. He's washed up. You heard what he said?
You know what? I'm going to say that Nonito's going to get the decision. It's going to go the distance, but I do believe there's going to be some controversy behind it. But I do believe that this is going to be the last grandstand for him.
Yeah, like Donaire's gonna stay. Like Donaire's gonna knock this dude out, right? He has one of the best left hooks in the business.
He does, but I think it's gonna go the distance, and I think
the last thing to go is power.
This guy's never been stopped before, though. Santiago, he's never been stopped.
Well, O'Bali never been stopped before Donaire stopped him.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? A lot of dudes were saying I never been stopped before. Then they got caught with that left hook, right? Okay, look at what it did to Inoue's eye. Ain't nobody do damage to in a way like Donaire. I'm just saying. Now I get it. Look, he fought fire with fire. He got caught early by a great fighter. In a way, would do the same thing to Santiago, quite frankly, in my opinion. But with that said, we'll wait for the fight. It's going to be an undercard. I think this is a great fight, right? I mean, Cal, what's your thoughts on the fight being on the undercard? This decision, put it there.
I love it. I think it should be the co-main, and that undercard desperately needed a 50-50 fight instead of showcase fights. Because I know why the co-main is Isak Cruz. They keep trying to force feed us Isak Cruz so they can pitch this Tank versus Cruz rematch. But it is what it is. I wish this was the co-main.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Hopefully they don't put it on the card before the pay-per-view or something. But who knows?
Donaire will be on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, he'll be on the televised portion.
Yeah.
All right. So the big news this weekend, for better or for worse. Okay, for better or for worse. The heavyweight champion of the world, of this planet, WBC champion, the lineal champion, if you still consider him that.
No, he's not.
Look, I'm just put it out there. He's going to be fighting the UFC heavyweight champion, or he's no longer, but the former UFC, like the one who never lost the belt, UFC champion, Francis Ngannou. I heard he's in the Guinness World Book of Records for punching hard. That's from what I heard. Warren is doing the rounds defending this fight, saying he's a great athlete. He won't say he's a great fighter, but he'll say he's a great athlete, right? And Calix, if you had to sell this fight to us, if you had to justify this fight,
I wouldn't.
You got to try it.
You're the promoter. Sell it. What you gonna
if you
say?
were high, they paid you good money to do it, and you're on ESPN, and Stephen A. Smith's like, "What's with this fight? What are we doing this fight for?" And you say what?
Look, it's gonna sell. It is. That's the sad part about this. It's gonna sell, but I don't understand why this is a thing, and I'm, I can't wait to hear Beeb's take on this.
Oh, he's next. I mean, he's right there. So good.
But anyway, I don't understand why it's intriguing to people. I'm just questioning the crossover market because it's not even a crossover fight. A crossover fight is when you have a boxer versus an MMA guy, and the MMA guy, maybe you let him kick, or maybe you put it in an octagon with 4-ounce gloves and then see what happens there. But you have a boxer versus a retired MMA fighter in a boxing match. And I don't understand why it's intriguing to people to find out who's better between the boxer and the non-boxer at boxing. Why is that intriguing? And the other part of it is this. When Muhammad Ali was fighting exhibition matches, first of all, it was an exhibition. From what I understand so far, this is going to be an actual fight. Maybe it's an exhibition. We'll see. But he fought 4 other fights that year in between the exhibition. This is all Tyson Fury is doing, is fighting a guy who is 0-0. That's his year. And I don't understand. I'm failing to understand why Tyson Fury, just in general at this point, is intriguing to people, because Klitschko, then he disappears. Deontay Wilder trilogy disappears. And now he's fought Chisora, Dillian White, and Francis Ngannou. That's his resume since Deontay Wilder. And for the love of God, can we get this dude to an undisputed fight? It's right there. It's been right there.
So should he be stripped, Calix? Should he be stripped, in your opinion? Should he strip him with the WBC belt?
In a sane sport, he would be stripped. Yeah, in a sane sport. But we're not in a sane sport. It just is what it is.
So he should, but he won't. Is your answer?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Joe Beeb, come on, you got to sell it to like you've been hired by Queensberry and by Top Rank. You're sitting there next to Stephen A. Smith. You got to look at the camera and sell this to the fans. Go ahead, sell this fight to us.
Give me my severance pay now, because I'd probably get fired, man. Can't do it. I'm the biggest Tyson Fury fan of all time, man, and
we know.
I can't get. I'm embarrassed right now, to be honest. You know, I got to give Ring IQ credit. I know he's not a big Fury fan, but he did make one great point. If you're going to get ready for a guy like Usyk, right, you can't fight a fight like this the fight before. So this just makes me even more skeptical and more disappointed that we're probably not going to get that Usyk fight in the first quarter of next year like they're trying to indicate that we may, right? Because you can't fight a fight like this. I don't understand why they can't just fight someone like Wallen. Why can't they fight someone like – well, Wallen's the perfect fight because he's a southpaw, right? But if you can't get Wallen, why not Hrgovic? I mean, there's other decent guys out there that he could fight. Martin Piccoli, you know? And I know everyone loves money. I get it. But I just don't understand why he would not want the Usyk fight. There's no way he's going to make more money fighting Ngannou than he's going to make fighting Usyk. So I guess this is just a cash grab. It's an easy fight, obviously. You know, it's. I guess I'm hearing he's getting like $40 million for the fight. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's probably the easiest $40 million he's ever going to get in his life if that's the case. So I get it, but I don't like it. I have no anticipation for this fight. This crossover type fight, these types of fights, for me, they've worn off. The novelty's worn off on them, right? They're played out. We know the ending. So is this going to be like WWE style? Because he's probably going to carry him like Mayweather carried McGregor for the rounds, and then when he wanted to get him out of there, he got a. I just don't think, you know, at this stage of his career, like what Mayweather did, he retired. He came back after a 2-year layoff. It wasn't for he wasn't a champion at the time. He was older. So you could kind of rationalize it, but it's hard to rationalize this. There's no way in God's green earth I could even imagine in my wildest dreams Ngannou winning this fight. Mm-hmm. Unless Fury trips, walk into the ring and blows out his ACL. It's the only way he loses this fight. So only way he loses this fight. Or if someone gives him food poisoning in the locker room, it's the only way he loses. Please don't. I'm not giving anyone any ideas out there. Don't, please. These aren't suggestions. By no means are these suggestions. These are not suggestions.
What if Ngannou puts egg weights in his gloves?
Even then, it's a pick 'em.
We need Ngannou's trainer to poison him. Is what we need.
And I'm gonna say something. And I hate to go off topic, but I was listening to Don Charles today at that press conference, and that guy inspired me. Like, he got me pumped for that fight. He really got me pumped for that fight.
What, for the Dubois?
Yeah, for the Dubois Usyk fight. Obviously, you got to favor Usyk, but
yeah,
I think Dubois may just let it all hang out though. I think it's going to be a fun fight to watch.
Yeah, look, Dubois Usyk's like Thriller and Manila compared to this.
Yeah, I'm not lying to you. Like, I actually like that fight, and I really liked the AJ Dillian White fight. I think that's a great fight right now. I think it's a great fight.
It's a good fight. I don't know it's a great fight, but it's a good fight. But
in comparison to this, it's a great fight.
Oh yeah, well of course. I mean, any food looks great next to shit. You know what I mean? So like,
I mean, you have to go there. Please.
I mean, like, it's Tyson Fury is literally
show, man. Please.
Tyson Fury is literally taking a massive shit in front of us. You know what I mean? It's the closest thing before it's literal. I'm just saying.
You could have said porridge or something.
You know, I'm just saying. All right.
You at least say caca or something.
You know, but Crystal. Well, actually, before I go to Beeb, should it be stripped?
Yeah, I don't like logjam in the division, bro. Usyk really wants the undisputed. I believe that. He wants the undisputed.
Okay.
And if this guy's not gonna give him an opportunity to go for undisputed, and he's gonna hold that belt hostage, and Mauricio Suleiman is gonna allow it to happen, then I think the press has to put a lot of pressure on the WBC. And I don't normally like saying this because I believe everyone should do what they want to do. But this is probably the first time in my life that I'm going to root for a fight to not do well. Mm-hmm. I don't want this fight to do well because this has to end. This has to end because this fight is creating a logjam in the heavyweight division, and it's a disservice to the boxing fans. So in order for this to stop, right, the public has to answer back, right? The market has to answer back. We're not going to buy this. This is probably going to be the first pay-per-view that I'm not going to buy. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this pay-per-view, and I buy every single pay-per-view, man. Every
You bought Bobby Gunn against Roy Jones.
Gunn versus Roy Jones.
He bought that fight, guys.
There was a pay-per-view between two pigeons fighting over a piece of bread in the street, and I bought that too. But I'm not buying this.
Hey, really quick,
I'm not buying this.
Shout out to El Chido Boxing. Fury, it's okay for your brother to fight Jake Paul on KSI because he's a nobody in sports. We need you, Tyson Fury, to get undisputed, not BS fights like this. 100%. All right, no doubt about it. Shout out to A-Rod, by the way. He's one of the most hardest working men ever, and just for him.
I'm a hard working man. I wear a steel hard hat.
Love that song.
Shout out to A-Rod. Crystal,
Yeah.
can you sell this fight to us?
Listen, they buy the WWE, WWF, whatever it is. It's fake, right? So if they're buying this on the pay-per-view yeah, why not? We can sell it. It will sell. There's enough fans out there that love Tyson Fury. I have to tell you, the man has skills. He is a big lad, but he can move his feet. He can move his body like other big lads not able to do. He proved that, right? So the fight will sell. I have to agree with that. Do I like it? Will I purchase it? Probably not. If there's amateur boxing on that night, I'll be watching it.
Well, what about the punching power of Ngannou? You think it's a threat to Fury? You know, if he cracks him right in the chin?
I don't believe wholeheartedly that Tyson Fury will stand in front of him. I don't.
Okay. There you go. There you go. Lady Chan. First of all, should he be stripped?
Gosh. Yeah.
Should they strip him of the belt?
Yeah.
That belt.
I mean, when was the when was the last fight he had with when was it? White was his last fight, right?
Well, Chisora and
Chisora was a voluntary.
Oh, that was a voluntary. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it was last December.
Okay. Yeah. Strip. Yeah. Strip him.
So Hermana, sell this fight to us. Sell it to us. It's your job to sell it. How do you sell this fight?
Okay. So it's a good fight for casual fans that want to get involved in the sport of boxing. So it's a good cross sport fight activity. So we'll get MMA fans maybe into the world of boxing, and maybe some boxing fans into the world of MMA, and we can all coexist and live happily ever after. But really, it's mierda. You know it. I know it. The world knows it. This is a load of shit. Let's have it right. It's rubbish. But shouts out to Francis Ngannou, because that's the only upside that I can see for him. He's getting, I heard reportedly, this is the most money that he's getting in his whole, like combined his whole career. I'm talking about from MMA and to UFC. Combined. So shouts out to him. I've got nothing against him. Do you know what I mean? He's proved himself in his sport. So this is all on Fury. Yeah. I think I gave it a good rap when I tried to sell it. I was fair, right?
In the ring with Christine. The current heavyweight champion of the world will be fighting the UFC champion.
I can sell it. I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, I'm gonna be like, I love Tyson Fury, and I have been crucified, talked about. I don't care, but I'm gonna tell you why I can sell it, because I'm gonna go and I'm gonna poke the bear over there at the MMA fans and be like, Y'all say MMA is better than boxing, and we say boxing is better than MMA. Now we're going to see what's up. Who's going to beat who? MMA or boxing? So I'm going to sell the shit out of this fight. And am I mad? It's a money grab. Absolutely, it's a money grab. Get your money. Do you, boo. For whatever reason you have to, do it. Why not?
Okay,
Absolutely, I can sell this fight.
That was a good attempt, actually. Not bad.
I'm poking the bear.
I think a lot of MMA fans are really going to buy this fight.
Absolutely.
Mostly people who are Francis Ngannou fans are going to buy this fight, in my opinion.
Facts. Absolutely. And you know what? Am I going to buy it? You know what? I may not. But the MMA fans are definitely going to, because they've been trying to prove a point for a long time.
But are we proving anything if a boxer beats an MMA fighter in a boxing fight?
Are we boxing has proven anything? No, because we don't care, because we think it's shit. Mierda, as Lady Jen said.
Sorry, it's mierda.
But MMA has not caught up with that. They're like, you know what?
It's like this, Christine. It's like getting a major league pitcher, and then like put it in front and center as a quarterback, and then like, oh, we're gonna prove the NFL's better than baseball, because he ain't gonna play good in this game. I mean, I don't know if that proves anything.
If you know baseball and you know football, you know that it's not gonna work. I don't know MMA, and I'm not worried about it. I just know they have some diehard fans, and they're gonna pay for this fight.
Should it be stripped, Christine?
If he's going to be stripped, there's others that need to be stripped. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, there's obvious, but
this is like
one of them, though.
There's that movie Happy Gilmore when he's golfing with a hockey stick. That's what this is. That's what this is.
We're all going to watch it.
You know what? If you can sell it and people are going to buy it, sell it.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'd watch it, but I wouldn't buy it.
I want to see Tyson Fury get kicked in the face. That's what I want to see. So they need to do. They're gonna do a crossover fight. Do crossover rules. That's what I want to see. I want to see him get shin kicked.
Good luck with that. You know what I mean? It isn't going to happen. I'm just saying. But you want to press me? Go do what an old ass Ray Mercer did. He went over there, knocked out an MMA dude in MMA rules.
James Toney tried.
Jeremy Williams was a decent MMA fighter. Remember him? That's the small heavyweight.
Clarissa Shields
did not do it.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
I don't know.
She was pretty good given her experience level. I thought she was decent for what.
Yeah, but she didn't get her hand raised, and that's what we want.
Yeah,
I hear you. All right. So look, I don't know if you guys have heard, but Teofimo Lopez has announced that he is not retired. Surprise, surprise, right? They gave him a deadline, and the 11th hour, apparently he decided, I'm not going to retire, right? They were going to give, if he was going to retire and not keep his belt, they were going to give Devin Haney like 24 hours or something to decide if he wants to fight for the belt before they let Barboza and Ramirez fight for it. But now Ramirez and Barboza are going to be put to the side. So he's unretired for what it's worth. Don't call it a comeback because I don't think he was ever gone, to be honest. But he's going to stay, and in the process, he called out Devin Haney. They said, since you were in such a hurry to fight for this belt, why don't we get it on? Because I ain't going nowhere. And he also said, you're not going to be the A side. I am the king of this division, right? Crystal, what's your thoughts on him unretiring and calling out Devin Haney? And is there any realistic chance we get that fight?
I'm not sure if we get it or not. I would love to see it. If for anything else, perhaps we'll be able to see both of their good skill sets, right? And get a fair evaluation, because we know they are both very talented young lads, right? But will we get it? I don't know. I wish we will. Something tells me that Loma will attempt to get to Haney again. I think the fight was close enough. That could happen. But will he take Teofimo Lopez in the middle of that? I don't think so. And to be fair, Teo say he retire, okay? So he not retire if he ready to fight again already, right? Do Teo know what he wants? Would be my question. I don't know if he know. I don't know if he know where he is mentally. So for that, I would be a little bit hesitant to throw him in the ring with Mr. Haney. Mr. Haney is no joke. He has some skills, and you know with that division in particular, there's so many different passages, different routes they can go. So I don't know. Then I did see today Mr. Haney get arrested. You know, so they both need to prolong, you know, the court fiasco with the wife, and then with this situation today before they can even think about a fight. So who knows?
Okay, all right. Lady Chan, are you surprised that Teofimo Lopez has unretired? And what do you think? He called out Devin Haney and he said, "Look, I'm the A side. I'm the king of this division. Since you wanted to fight for this belt so bad, right? When you thought I was retired, maybe you should fight for me now."
That'll be a great fight. They're both I think they're kind of both with Bob Arum, aren't they? So it's supposed to be an easy. Well, I think Devin Haney's already did his free fight deal, but I think I would have thought maybe it would have been an easy fight to make. But you know, this is boxing, never know easy fights that be making. So A side, I don't know, former undisputed lightweight champ. Devin kind of makes 3-4 million a fight versus Teofimo Lopez is crying that he makes 1.2 at best. So I don't know, but I don't know who's the A side. Don't really care. Be a good fight though, but I wasn't shocked that Teofimo Lopez did a Tyson Fury and pretended to retire. So we shall see.
All right, Christine, he's back. Yeah, are you excited? He made his grand comeback. He's going to keep the belt, and he called out Devin Haney to fight.
I think that everybody knew that it was a fluke as far as his retirement. I mean, his dad took him in the locker room and said, "Look, son, you know, you're my only source of income. You know, what am I going to do now?" And so, you know, he had to reconsider his retirement. And then, you know, he's going through a divorce and he has child support to pay. So yeah, I mean, I didn't believe it for 1 second. I guess the only question is Haney going to stay, you know, at 135? Is he going to go up at 140 to 140? Like what's going to happen there? And he's calling him out. Why not? You know, I believe that if Teo is on, which sometimes he is and sometimes he isn't, then he could beat Haney. But if he's having an off night, like we've seen before, then it's going to be questionable. So it just depends on who shows up.
Shout out to Remy. Says saludos, Dista, and everyone. Hey, saludos to your brother. Thanks so much for the donation. Shout out to Remy. Look, I want to read this tweet here. Then I'll go to you, babe. I came out of retirement, I guess, because the next move was for Devin Haney to fight sorry-ass Arnold Barboza for my WBO championship at 140 pounds. Fuck that. I'm tired of helping this kid be something that he's not, and that's a real champion. He also, I don't know if you saw this, babe, he was tweeting out, my dad doesn't speak for me. I never asked for $20 million. That's something my dad said. I never said it. Right. And he said his dad frustrates him by talking for him business wise. But at the end, he wanted to make sure everybody understands his dad does not talk for him when it comes to the business side of boxing. What's your reaction to that, Joe? You're on mute, brother.
I think it's a good move that he's standing up for himself. Obviously, the trainer works for the fighter. But these father-son dynamics, they're touchy situation sometimes, and you know, when you do have the fighter supporting the trainer, in this case his dad, you know, it's a tough situation. But I think this is a great fight, and I think style wise I do think this favors Devin Haney. Devin Haney's quick, he's got quick feet, quick hands, he's really good from the outside, and he showed a little bit of an inside game against Loma, a lot better than I anticipated. I was surprised at his inside game. As good as Teo is, though, he's more of a mid-range counterpuncher type. He's not a volume guy, right? And he doesn't really like to fight on the inside. And Sandor Martin, when he had space, you saw that he was troubling Teo with his jab from the outside. I can see Devin Haney picking and prodding from the outside, frustrating Teo. And Teo wants you to go all the way in so he can counter you, but I don't think Devin Haney will oblige him in that factor. I think he'll kind of stay on the outside, gauge his distance, fight kind of a safety first type fight, sort of like how he fought the first fight against Kambosos, because I think he'll respect Teo's power, and I just think you'll see kind of a chess match type performance from Devin Haney. And I don't like the idea of Devin Haney considering even staying at 135, even for the Loma fight, because I just don't think at this stage of his career it's healthy for him. And at some point, the well's gonna run dry. You could go to the well too many times and it's gonna run dry. And Josh Taylor is a perfect example of that, staying at the weight too long. He looked like, with all due respect, looked like a shell of himself in that Teo fight. And I hate making excuses, but I have to suspect that the weight had something to do with it.
Mhm.
Something to do with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right. Calix, what do you make of the drama? First of all, are you shocked that he's back? Is this like, were you one of the ones that thought he was going to stay retired, or did you kind of know this was all cap?
Oh, yeah. I was shocked last night when I got the news. Absolutely shocked. No, I wasn't. Teofimo likes being in the spotlight. And one thing that Teofimo has proven is the bigger the lights in a fight, the brighter he shines, right? So I've said this. I told you this. I told Beeb this. I'm not picking against Teofimo in big fights anymore. I made my mistake against Lomachenko. I made the mistake against Josh Taylor. I'm not doing it again. This guy shows up for big fights. I'm not picking against him in big fights anymore. So he can be erratic, but he's going to not show up in the smaller fights. He's going to show up in the bigger fights. So the key is to put this guy in big fights. I'm glad he's back or still here, because it's good to see the lineal champ stick around, right? You want to see that lineage continue. You want to see somebody take that from him instead of him just pulling a Tyson Fury and giving it up, and breaking the lineage that way. So as far as the Devin Haney stuff, I think a lot of dominoes will fall when Devin Haney makes his choice, right? So as far as Teofimo calling out Devin Haney, my instincts tell me that fight's not going to happen next. I just don't think it's going to happen next. I think they're going to dance around it for a little while. And the good spot Teofimo's in is he doesn't have any mandatories coming up. He doesn't. He just doesn't. He can sit on that belt for a little while and kind of just watch to see what happens. And I think he's going to wait for Haney to make his move at 140. And if Haney wants to make his move at 140, he blocked the Barboza thing, right? He's saying, nope, you're not coming up that way and getting the belt. So you got to go through Regis Prograis if you're not going through me. So I think he's going to wait and see if this guy does make his move at 140. And if it's Regis Prograis, then Teofimo can sit back and fight the winner of that fight. And I think that's how this is going to play out. I'm just waiting to see if Haney can drain himself at 135 again. And the good news for all of this, for me, is I like all these fighters, number one. And number two, I like all the options Devin Haney has. I like a Lomachenko rematch. I like Shakur Stevenson fight. If he wants to go up to 140, I like the Teofimo fight. I like the Regis Prograis fight. And I think my instincts are starting to tell me that he's going to fight Regis Prograis next. And Teofimo is going to
get Rolly out. Let him get Rolly out of there.
Shit.
O'Hara Davies is going to get Rolly out of there.
That's interesting. You think he'd fight Regis first, huh?
I do. I'm starting to think that's the move.
Okay.
If he's moving up to 140.
I could see it.
I'm starting to think
why would he be?
Eddie said they're talking about that at the moment, so probably could happen.
I mean, that was the first fight they talked about when for moving up to 140.
Also, Regis coming off like a pretty performance, while Teo looked really good against Sater.
Yeah.
So if we're going by that, they might believe,
why not?
They like the chances.
It's on the slide, so
why not make it a unification fight when they do end up fighting? Makes the fight even bigger, right?
Makes it bigger, or they have all the belts. You could call it undisputed.
Good call,
And
Alex.
Tio's in a good spot. It makes sense for him to hold on to that belt because he doesn't have mandatories coming up. Just hold it. They're letting fighters hold belts for years now anyway, so just hold on to it.
Makes sense.
Look, I really don't care who the A side is in that fight. Like, I don't have like a vested interest like that. Shout out to Remy, by the way. I believe I missed this one. He never left. Tio has better inside game, in my opinion, he says. Shout out to Remy. Beeb, you reacted.
I don't think he has an inside game. I think he's a mid-range guy. But everyone has their own opinion. It's fine.
Okay. Well, look. All I know is this. First of all, I find it very interesting how he's been more outspoken against his father, even on the lead up to the Josh Taylor fight, right? He was even saying, "Dad, stop being a bitch," and that's how he was talking to him. Like,
How does dad a bitch live on television, man?
yeah,
I think they're fine though. I think that's their relationship.
No. Well, here's what I want to say. Well, let me say this. So the transparency, in a weird way, just works better for him. They're bottling it all in, and then he starts crying, out of nowhere. And instead of bottling in the emotion, he's just being very transparent about it, like in real time. Like, Dad, stop being a bitch. Like, so what are they asking me this? Who cares what they think? Who cares this? And Dad, just what are you doing? And like he's being very transparent. In this case, my dad, like Haney saying, "Well, you asked for $20 million." He said, "I didn't ask for nothing." My dad said that. My dad don't speak for me. Like he doesn't handle my business decisions.
He said my dad doesn't get in the ring and fight. So
yeah,
Tio has a manager, and I said this before, and I think Calix even said this. The Lopez family, they thrive off of chaos, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like fuel to them.
Absolutely.
Dysfunction.
Yeah. Their dysfunction is function.
What do he do? Do he replace his father for his next fight, or he keep him in the corner?
Probably keep him.
I think he needs to keep him.
Yeah.
I think eventually
he needs that chaos, like Beeb said. I think he needs to keep him. He needs that.
I think eventually, though, he'll probably bring someone else in later.
Yeah, he has to. Didn't he have? Who did he bring in? Who did he have for Loma?
Joey Gamach.
Gamach, yeah. So
yeah, I heard he had to get rid of the Joey Gamach and the strength and conditioning coach because they didn't have the money to pay those guys.
Yeah.
For the Cambosis fight.
Right.
But I heard. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Same as well.
I mean, damn. Look. He did have a strength and conditioning coach this time.
Yeah.
And I think it showed. I think his condition looked really good against Taylor. But we'll see. But really quick to the panel, where does Josh Taylor go from here? Crystal, what do you think is going to happen with Josh Taylor? Just 147?
Well, he's got no choice. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
You think he's done?
No. I think there are plenty of folk out there. If he stay at the 147, or will he potentially drop back to the 140?
Okay.
He have some fights out there if you want. Are they championship fight? No.
Yeah.
But if you need to make your bag, get your fight or two. I don't know. How old is he?
Josh Taylor, I'm not off the top of my head. I think early 30s.
34, maybe.
33? Yeah, maybe.
I think he's 33. I think he's 33, 34. Josh Taylor could rematch Regis Prograis. Like it's been said.
True.
Regis Prograis did not look great in his last fight. So,
That ship sailed to be,
You think so?
Yeah. 140 for him is just like you said. He stayed at the well.
Yeah, he's got to get. I don't like him at one. You're right. I don't like him at 140. But if he's gonna stay, I wouldn't hate that fight for him.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Let me present this to you, Lady Chan. So I get that he's struggling to make 140. I get he probably feels flat at 140, but the alternative is 147. What is he going to do? Even if he feels 100% at 147, who's he going to fight? Bud? Spence? Bruce?
Mo Hooker?
I mean, as soon as this first fight's over, but Spencer's already said he's moving up. I saw it on a thing that he was just talking about.
So what about Boots? You think he can fight Boots?
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to. This is what you're going to have to do.
Well,
Otherwise,
I guess what I'm asking you is, do you like that fight?
I think it would be a tough fight.
Do you like his chances in that fight against Boots Ennis?
I think he's got a shot.
He's got a shot. He's a former undisputed. At 147, less weight to cut. He's a big lad. He walks around. Josh Taylor could be walking around at 190. Okay.
Like I think he'll be perfect. Like to be like.
He's a big lad.
He could be like. He could be Commonwealth champion at welterweight.
No, I don't
European champion.
When Spence and Crawford
think about it.
The division's wide open.
The European welterweight champion of the world. Josh.
So you don't think this division is wide open when Spence and Crawford move up?
It's a shallow division.
Okay, right. Christine.
Without Spence and Crawford, like Alex said, it's a shallow division.
Well, let's see what Christine thinks. Christine?
Want to see him at
what do you want to see next with Josh Taylor? Do you think 147 is the right move, or do you think? What do you think?
I'm a huge fan of Josh. I am, but his last two fights, he did look flat. He didn't look good. He didn't look like himself. And I don't know if it was physical, mental, whatever, but he just did not look good. Boots, if he's gonna move, if Josh is gonna go to 147, Boots needs to fight somebody. Okay. Yeah. I would like him to fight Stanionis, but if not, put Josh in there.
Okay.
Put Josh in there.
So but Josh Taylor, Stanionis?
And depending on what Josh does in that fight or his next fight, if he doesn't look good, then I think he needs to go ahead and, hang it up, in my opinion.
They start feeding him. They start feeding him like they do Gamboa or other ones. That's what they will do.
All right. Hey, Pete, do you think Josh Taylor could have that Tszyu moment that Tszyu had with him? Like, everyone thought Tszyu, like, okay, you're moving up. You haven't been the same. Look how you looked against Cambozas. And then maybe he could move up, and maybe Josh Taylor could surprise some people at 147.
It's not out of the realm of possibility that Josh Taylor could beat a Stanionis and could beat a Boots Ennis. The jury is still out on Boots Ennis. I like Boots Ennis, but we're going to talk about it later, but I see some little things that he needs to work on. You're very good, but to be a Spence or a Crawford, it's not good enough to just be very good. You got to be exceptional, and I don't think he's shown that he's exceptional. Very good, but I don't know if he's exceptional.
Hey, really quick, guys, before I go to Calix, we got 50 people on here. We only have 18 likes. Like go ahead and hit the like button. Jab that like button, okay? I'm not like Eric Morta says. We're not asking you to work the coal mines, okay? I'm not asking you to. You know what I mean? It's a button. You know what I mean? It's free.
So hard.
Press the like. We've been on here for 47 minutes for 18 likes.
It's not like we're asking you to cook us dinner or anything, man.
Even hit the dislike because it's the same. It's engagement. It doesn't matter.
Look, I'm not asking you to cook me dinner in the thong like my neighbor did the other time. I'm just asking you to hit the like button. Right?
I'm not asking you to cut my grass. I mean, come on.
Easy.
Hit the like. Calix, I shout out to Blood in the chat, by the way, and Bruce Goss as well. Lisa Bale, shout out to the sister out there. Nando Llamas, shout out to you, brother. Remy, everybody. Look, Calix, I saw a lot of nodding, shaking. Like, well, people were so. Give us your thoughts here. Josh Taylor, 147, stay at 140. What are the chances, etc.?
Well, he's 32, early 30s, and he's only 8 years into his career, and only 20 fights. So I think the age thing is overplayed. I just think he came into two tough stylistic matchups for him in Catterall and Teofimo. So I think there's something they can build off of going forward. And you can present him with two options. 147, as Beeb said, is about to be a wide open division. Bud and Errol are moving up. Virgil's moving up. That's about to be a shallow division. It was already an underwhelming division because you had 7 undefeated fighters in the top 10, so nobody was fighting each other anyway. So we don't know how talented that division is, to be honest. Right. And now it's about to be shallow and wide open. You're about to have all these belts going to a vacuum, so he can move up to 147 and pick off one of those belts. But also, if he stays with top rank, Barboza's there in the top 10. You can do a Jose Ramirez rematch because he's not doing anything. So he has options, and he'll be fine. I think Josh will be fine.
All right. Look, I do think the right move is to go to 147, but sometimes it's just worth it to do the cut. Looking only to Donaire, right?
No,
Only to Donaire did it. I'm just saying.
He was naturally smaller, way smaller geezer than Josh Taylor. Come on.
I'm just saying. I mean,
And he's about to lose.
Taylor walks around at 185, up to 190.
I mean, what do you want
Nonito's going to do it for all the 40-year-olds. I'm just going to put that out there.
What do you want this guy to be? Anorexic? I mean, you're endorsing like anorexia here, man. What's wrong with you?
It is. It's what it is.
What happened to
maybe I shouldn't be saying this after the whole Virgil Ortiz thing, but it is what it is.
Exactly. I mean, we're losing sponsors by the minute. Every word you speak.
What worth you losing your life for? That's what I mean.
What if you throw Taylor in with Keith Thurman?
Get a fucking nutritionist, man.
Let's transition since we're talking about. Well, look, we're talking about welterweight, so it's a great transition to talk about Boots, as Beeb stated. So let's get on that, right? Spence Crawford, Boots says, I hope it's a one-sided fight. That way I can get the winner right away. I don't want to wait for them to fight again. Then I got to wait my turn. And I hope whoever wins, I hope they beat the hell out of the other dude. It's so one-sided that there's no rematch and I get the winner. So regardless of who we think, I mean, we got to admire that. He really wants to fight. Lady Chan, do you like his chances against either guy here?
If I have to pick someone who I have his chances just due to the style matchup, I'm going to have to pick. He's got a better chance of beating Spence, just in my opinion. Because him and Terence Crawford would be very interesting because they're similar. So they're both switch hitters. They both work on and off angles, fast twitch muscles, like very reactionary. Power. So to me, they're very similar. So that sometimes when you got two similar fighters, it almost just cancels each other out. So that would be interesting for me to see. But that is why because I think that Bud beats Spence because of his style matchup. So if I think that Boots has got a similar style, I have to say that I would think that Boots would have more success fighting Errol.
So you like his chances better against Errol. However, who would you pick, Errol or Boots in that fight?
If just say that, I would still have to say Errol.
Okay.
I would have to say Errol at this stage, just because I feel that Errol's a bit more experienced. The difference is, see, Boots and Bud are so similar because Bud can get hit. He can. But Boots gets hit. And I just think that he's not experienced enough. I've seen him get snapped back against lesser opponents than Errol Spence. So I would have to give Errol the win.
Round 5, Villa caught him with a really good right hand for sure.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the fight because we don't get Showtime here. So we have to wait till it comes on YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. Hey, Joe, Joe Beeb, so about a year and a half ago or so, or about 2 years ago, Spence and Boots had like a little, like, they were talking. It was like a conference call, and Boots and Spence told him, "Man, you're a little pup. You're a little puppy, man. Like, you haven't grown up to fight the big dogs yet. Is he still a puppy? Is he still in between puppy and big dog? Is he ready for the big dogs? What is the puppy barking a little too loud right now?"
I don't think he's ready for either one of them. And I said this on Sunday, the show I did with Eric. I didn't like how Villa was smothering he was smothering him, and Boots couldn't get the shots off on the inside because he was standing right in the center. He wasn't stepping off to the side, keeping his right shoulder outside the left shoulder of Villa, and creating the punching angle and getting the leverage on the shots. Spence does that beautifully. See, Lady Chan's right. I mean, the one similarity that Boots and Crawford do have is they can switch hit and they can make adjustments. But Crawford makes adjustments quicker and more frequently in the fight. It takes Boots a little bit longer to figure it out and work his way through the fight. And I was saying to myself, him just standing there and accepting the clinch from Villa. Spence and Crawford are spiteful. They're spiteful, mean guys. They're not going to let you hold them. They're not going to look over to the referee. Hey, come over here and break me, right? These guys are killers. They're not only skilled, they're killers, right? So I just don't think, he's very good, quick, good punching power, but I'm seeing a lot of defensive liabilities up close. And Spence loves to collapse the pocket and just go on the inside. That's probably the one slight advantage I would give Spence over Crawford is his ability to fight on the inside. But it's close. But Crawford, I think, does everything else better. But the one thing you could probably edge Spence is the inside game, right? But Boots staying in there with Spence like that, I could see Spence just sliding, boom, pivot, uppercut.
Nice.
Yeah, I could just see him, And when Boots was landing body shots, he was throwing the body shots squared up, not getting the leverage on the body shots. They, he wasn't getting the full weight behind the shots on the inside, and that's why I think Villa was able to stay around as long as he did. I just don't.
Round 10 stoppage, was it
round 10? Yeah, round 10.
Behind the fight.
Yeah, and I just think Spencer Crawford, he wouldn't go past 6. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Calix, you've heard a lot. But one of your thoughts is, are you ready for either Spence or Crawford? Who do you like his chances better against?
Yeah, I think he's ready, and I think he has a better chance against Errol than Bud. And Lady Chance summed that up for me, and I've said that before, is they have similarities, and they're both Bud and Boots are both sadistic fighters. They both want to take your head off, and they'd rather get hit to lure you in than stand on the outside and box. And I think they're capable of that. Another thing about Boots, and I would disagree with Beeb on the body punching. I think he's a great body puncher, and he has a high percentage of body punches landed. I'd say his percentage of body punches landed is one of the tops in the sport. So I think he's a great body puncher. And on top of that, he's like a change-up pitcher in that he doesn't throw punches at the same pace. And he was fooling Villa with that as the fight went on. And I was also impressed with his chin, obviously. And D-Styles talked about that. If you talk about a fighter's chin, maybe he's getting hit too much. But he was taking some hellacious punches and walking through them. But he put it all together on Saturday finally. That was my criticism of Boots coming into last Saturday was it's not believable. And I think Beeb and I would agree on this. It's not believable that a guy is cornering Bud and Errol when he's fighting on undercards, on other people's cards outside of his hometown. So they finally put him in a packed auditorium where the fight belongs, put him on a main event, and he shows out and he gets a knockout. But I want to be careful with recency bias because I was impressed with the performance, but the expectations are different, right? Because Bud knocks out Avanesian in round 7, and Avanesian is actually ranked higher than Villa. I know styles make matchups, but people were saying after that fight, Bud gets hit too much, and he didn't look all that great. And then Boots knocks out Villa in round 10, and everybody's losing their shit and saying he's the greatest fighter of all time, right? So expectations. So we have to be careful with recency bias too. But my other criticism of Boots coming in is my same criticism of Virgil, of Stanionis, is they've been playing the waiting game at welterweight. None of these guys have been petitioning the way they should have. These guys have been taking step-aside money. They've been waiting for vacant belts to come along and waiting for this fight to finally happen. And Virgil can't even make the weight anymore. I don't feel sorry for Stanionis for not getting a payday because he's been taking step-aside money. And Boots is another one. He's just been waiting for vacant belts. So I don't feel sorry for him if Bud and Errol don't point to him. If he wants to fight that bad, guess what? Errol said he's moving to 154. Bud said he's moving to 154. Beat him there. Beat him there. But he's not gonna. Why? Because he's been waiting for vacant belts for years. And that's the frustrating part is a guy of Boots' talent should have been fighting main events and real title fights a couple years ago, to be honest. But all that being said, D-Style, I'm impressed with them. I like him. I like the fact that he's a fighter. At the end of the day, him and Bud like to fight. They like to fight. And if Bud does what I think he's going to do to Errol, he's going to make a statement. These guys like to fight. They like to fight. And Boots is cut from that cloth too. He likes to fight.
For sure, for sure. Crystal, do you think Boots is ready for either Spence or Crawford?
Ready? I love his energy. He have the energy. He want to fight. If you want to fight, throw him in. Why not? But, I agree with what everyone else is saying also. I don't know that, he have to go to 154 to make it happen. Stay at 147, all those belts, he wait for them, he get them. I feel like he top tier at 147. He get the belts, collect them all, and then move up to 154 and see what your chances are at that point. And perhaps Errol and Bud both be gone by then, out of the sport completely. I don't know.
All right. In the ring with Christine. Talk to us. Is Boots Ennis ready for Bud? Is it ready for Spence? Who does he have a better shot against?
So Beeb and I are usually like right on, and we are with this too. Like our boxing minds are right on. And Calix, I disagree with you. I don't see the sadistic in Boots like I do Bud. You fucking hit Bud, and guess what? You're about to die. You're getting knocked out. You're getting put down. I don't see that in Boots. I believe that Boots is in junior high, and Bud and Errol are in college, graduating. Boots has had 33 fights, 33, and what? The only way that Boots will stay away from either one of these guys is he better have a damn good conditioning coach, because he's got to stay on his bike like he was. I agree with Beeb that when he was not putting that power into the body shots. Yeah, he touched the body a lot of Villa, but Villa ate that. It wasn't coming from his legs up. It was all up here. He doesn't know how to sit and turn and put those body shots to be effective. He doesn't. So he won't beat either one of them. Either one. I think he needs to. I don't know what he needs to do, but 33 fights, bro. Come on, do something, please. What's his most notable fight?
Villa.
Now, but before that, what was it?
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe.
And he wasn't a true 130. He was a 135. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not there yet.
It's eye test.
So
it's eye testing for sure.
The eye test, beautiful. Great form, stays long, has all the basics down. Beautiful. But in a war, no, I'm not going to be on his side.
When you're on the inside, you got to bite down on that mouthpiece. You got to grit your teeth. You got to keep that back foot on the outside, and you got to dig those toes into the canvas, and you got to rip that shit.
Hell
You don't stand there and do this shit. I mean,
and when you're throwing everything at your opponent and he's eating that and he keeps coming, damn.
No way. There's no way he goes past 6. There's no way. There's no way he goes past 6.
I would take a bet on that.
No way.
I mean, I think they're talking about Villa, Calix, not Boots going 6.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Villa, Calix, not Boots.
Oh, yeah, I got you. All right, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Hey, look,
you gotta ask yourself, I'm sorry, just let me get this quick point, and I'm sorry. And you got to ask yourself, this guy's got more fights than Spence, and he's only got 6 fights less than Crawford. And look at where these guys are in comparison to where he is. We use this same barometer for Tank. I think it needs to be applied to Boots. And again, this isn't shade. This is reality, right? Because the bar is so high at this level. And I repeat, you can be very good, but to beat a guy like Spencer Crawford, you have to be exceptional.
Absolutely.
You got to be valedictorian. You just can't be top 10, top 5. You got to be valedictorian.
It's 7 years in with a thin resume is a red flag. In fairness,
it's a red flag. You don't like this stuff, Calix. This is one of your pet peeves that a negative pet peeve of yours.
You're right. You're right.
Look, here's what I'll say, guys. I think this would explain a lot. First of all, Roman Villa might be the first dude that stepped in the ring with Boots that actually came to try to win. Right? That's number one. Like, he actually had a guy that didn't lay down in the fight. And look, obviously his last fight, the guy didn't really come to fight. It was an easy win, but an ugly fight for Boots. But before that, second round knockout, first round knockout, 6-round stoppage, and the Herndon fight ended in the first round, no contest. And then look at all these fourth round knockouts, third round knockout, first round knockout, second round knockout, third round knockout, second, first, fourth, second, first, third, first, fourth. Okay, a couple, maybe one or two, like ones that went 6 rounds. Not a lot of experience right there. A lot of fights, but not a lot of experience. Excellent. Count the rounds that Spence has fought, and it's a lot more experience right there.
Yeah.
And against much higher competition.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent point.
Look,
very
Villa, like, this is the first time he had to experience a lot of the things he experienced in the ring with Villa. He was never in this position before. So I do believe he's going to go back to the drawing board and improve. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. The question is, will he improve enough to make up for that gap between him and then there's Spence and Bud? Right now, I don't think he's ready for that. He needs rounds. He needs resistance. He needs guys that are going to come to win, guys that are going to give him different looks and give him actual competition, like Villa did to a certain degree, right? And I think Stanionis is a perfect opponent for that. I think
that's where we would disagree, though, because I think if a dude is telling you he's ready, you let him go. And I think he's ready. Whether he wins or loses,
I agree with that.
Here's the thing: he deserves a seat. He deserves a seat at the table.
Sure.
But I don't know. But I don't know if he's going to be the first guy digging in with the fork, putting it in the pork chop. I think Spence and Crawford are going to get in there first.
Oh man,
Meet me at 154. That's it. See you later.
And he's probably bigger than he's bigger than Spence and Crawford.
He's a massive.
Massive, right?
Yeah.
He's big. Yeah, so the two things, I agree with everything y'all are saying, and I've had the same reservations. But the two things I think I would disagree with is I think he's ready for those fights more than the other peers out there. And the second thing is, I thought he looked great on Saturday.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a quick question. Let's take away the health problems from Virgil Ortiz. Mm-hmm. Are you more impressed with Boots, or are you more impressed with Virgil Ortiz?
Up to this point, Virgil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame. That's a shame what happens and what's going on with Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah. But it's true.
That's just a bad luck of the draw, bro.
Yeah.
That's all that is. And my heart goes out to the guy. Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
it's lack of knowledge is what it is.
Well, let's do this. The 154-pound division has been mentioned, so let's transition to that. What would you like next for Tim Tszyu? The Jermell fight is not happening, as we know. Jermell Charlo will be fighting Canelo late September, so that's that. And I think the ship has sailed for any Jermell Tim Tszyu fight. Christine. What's next for Tim Tszyu?
It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. It really is. Because I think Tim deserves to get his shot at any one of the belts that are being, held up. I think it's a damn shame. Mm-hmm. And who else do I want to see him at? I don't know. I mean, do we want to give Tony Harrison another round? We want to do Danny Garcia, like Conwell, like who? Like who would we really want to see him?
Well, there's Kurbanov, the Russian guy. You got Brian Mendoza, who just knocked out the Tower in Inferno.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
You know what I mean? So Danny Garcia, I guess.
I would say for the name, Danny Garcia.
Okay. I hope he'll beat up Danny Garcia.
And good. Good.
I'm just saying. Man, you don't like Danny?
Christine's like, send Danny to the slaughterhouse.
Feed him.
Jeez. Hey, all right, Calix, what would you like to see next for Tim Tszyu here?
So I'd like to see him fight a fight, okay, and then do Liam Smith. And let me explain myself. I don't think Jermell Charlo is going back down. Okay, so and I expect him to lose to Canelo and take a big break after that. And he's going to be 17 months between fights when the Canelo fight happens. So an interesting scenario is popping up. Liam Smith, who just beat Eubank Jr., is ranked number 2 contender by Ring Magazine, and Tim Tszyu is number 1 contender. So when these belts become vacant or they're stripped, the Ring Magazine title is probably on the line for Tim Tszyu versus Liam Smith because they're number 1, number 2. That's how the rules work. If the belt becomes vacant or is stripped, number 1, number 2 can fight each other for the Ring Magazine belt. So that's what I'd like to see happen. Let Tim Tszyu fight. Let him be elevated. He's going to be elevated, and then let him fight for the Ring Magazine lineal title against Liam Smith. And that's what I'd like to see happen. But it may take a fight in between that, and just put him in there with whoever in Australia, and then fight a fight there, and then fight Liam Smith in the UK or Australia, and then you can have that for the Ring Magazine title, lineal title. You're the lineal champ at 154 at that point.
Right.
If you beat Liam Smith.
Okay.
Do it that way.
All right. Lady Chan, what do you think should happen next with Tim Tszyu here? He's not getting the Jermell fight, so what's the next best option?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Poor Tim Tszyu. I'm not sure. All right. Where else can he go? I'm really not sure. I'm not sure because we got domestic tie-ups. We got Beefy, and he's up at 160. He's supposedly doing this Eubank thing. Could he come over and make some money in the UK? And Lee Wood's what's Wood at? What's Lee Wood at? Lee Wood's little, isn't it? Sorry, my bad. Who's the other geezer that's domestically here in the UK? There's Beefy. We've got, because I want to match him up with mainly.
There's Dennis Hogan from Ireland.
Is Liam Williams at middleweight now, or is he at junior middleweight still?
He was at middleweight. Didn't he fight Andrade?
Yeah, he went up to middleweight. Yeah,
Hogan. Yeah, but Hogan's green, isn't he? Green. What's his record?
No, Dennis Hogan's a veteran. He's a veteran for sure. He's fought all the big names.
I don't really know. I'm 154 ain't really my division.
He already beat Dennis Hogan now. So.
I already fought him and beat him. Yeah. Well, then I don't know what he does. Your guess is as good as mine. For me, I have no idea what he does. Sorry.
Open division, it sounds like. Crystal, what would you like, just in general, what would you like to see next for Tim Tszyu? He's not going to get the Jermell fight, so what's the next best option?
Totally unfortunate for Tim, especially given what I hear recently about the whole situation. He think he have the fight, then he find out he don't. Very, very unfortunate. Who else do we have at 154 right now? We have, I don't know who. No one above him, right? Other than the Charlo. So
all the belts,
with the belts now.
It's hard. They're tied up.
Yeah,
what do you really do? Not a glamour division. It's not really ever.
We have a couple of young lads, coming through the ranks, but do you throw them in there with Tim Tszyu? I'm not sure.
Tim Tsz유's he's turning into his own now. I mean, what do you reckon he could go up and decide to fight at 160? Try a little, kind of like what Benavidez did, Jose did, went up to 160, and then said, I don't really like up here, I'll go to 154. So, maybe you could toy around with the idea of moving to 160 and see what's up there, if there's something better for him up there. Don't stay stagnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about to go. I don't know.
I don't think he's going to have a problem getting fights because he's a big money fight for anybody in that division. So, but let's see. Joe, you have any ideas?
I love the Brian Mendoza fight. That's a can't miss fight. I know Calix mentioned it, and I think you mentioned it as well. My only question: I love the Liam Smith fight. I think that's a big fight to do in the UK, but I'm not sure if Liam Smith is going to come back down to 154 because he just
Beefy. Yeah.
Beefy, because Beefy did go up to 160. He's talking about wanting to fight Canelo. He's even talked about wanting to fight Janibek. I don't know how serious he is. I'm guessing he wants a middleweight title, but if the opportunity presents himself and it's a big enough money fight, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that he goes back down to 154 if the money's right. It's not.
Yeah,
he can fight for the lineal title. He can fight for the lineal title.
He can definitely do it. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that he can do it. I don't think it's a stretch. I don't think it's a bad move. I don't think it's a tough move for him to make. I think he can make 154 comfortably. I think he moved up to 160 because the Eubank fight was it was a money fight.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I don't think he moved up because he grew out of the division.
No.
But I like the Mendoza fight. Mendoza comes to fight. He's a big puncher. He's an aggressive guy, and it's another guy that Tszyu can fight who beat another top guy in Fondora. So he can kind of further prove to the people in this division that, I'm the man here, just like he, how he dispatched Harrison very quickly.
Yeah.
And, Jamel had some difficulty dispatching him.
So could he not do Fondora then? He
could fight Fondora too. But since Mendoza was the guy that beat Fondora, I would like to see him fight Mendoza first. I think Mendoza deserves a big fight. And I know Samson has said that they want the rematch with Fondora with Mendoza, but you don't know what this you don't know what this guy's.
I'll say this.
Nothing's been announced. There's no talks. So I don't even know if that rematch is going to happen with Fondora.
Well, let me
for that
go ahead, Lady Chan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just saying you don't really know where Fondora is because that was a brutal knockout.
Yeah,
that was brutal.
This is
what I would mentally where he's even at, and would it be fair to put him in with a beast like Tszyu now coming off that type of loss? He's going to kind of need a confidence build up.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, check it out. I actually think the Mendoza fight is the best fight to make at the moment, and here's why. First of all, you have a highlight reel that sells that fight by itself. Like you show Tszyu knocking out Ocampo, then you show Brian Mendoza getting that big knockout over the tower in Inferno. That sells itself. And no offense to Samson, but I have a feeling that if Tszyu's team says, "Hey, we want Mendoza," like Al Heyman's going to make it happen. Like especially after what happened with the Jamal situation.
I agree.
I'm sure he'll say, "Well, we got to make something happen for him."
I agree.
And not only that, it's a bigger money fight for Mendoza. Right, and I do think that would be more than likely for the WBO belt. I think they're going to upgrade, or they're going to make Tszyu the actual WBO champion, and he's going to be fighting for a world belt, right? That's what somebody mentioned. Lubin, that's not a bad fight, but Lubin lost to Fondora, and then Fondora lost to Mendoza. It's only common sense to have Mendoza fight Tszyu, in my opinion. Another great option is Liam Smith. I like that fight. Beefy Smith versus Tszyu. I think Tszyu destroys him, but hey, why not? You know what I mean? It's Tszyu can open up in the UK market with that fight, to be quite honest.
Then he'd have the ring belt.
Just thinking to get him paid.
And if he has a ring belt, I mean, I'm not sure what his status is with him wanting the belt, but
here's going back to what I said. Situations. This is where I think the ring belt would matter, because I think Tszyu's at least proved he was arguably the second best, maybe even the best. Who knows? But there was an argument that he was right there with Jamel. Now that Jamel's not there anymore, you can argue that he's the man. So I think the ring belt would kind of validate that a little bit. So in that instance, going back to what I've said, the fighter would make the belt there, in my opinion.
Okay, absolutely. Look, there is some options there, but unfortunately, none of them are as big as the Jamal option. But I mean, there's still something there, and I just don't see him moving up to 160 right now, unless it was a big offer. But who's at 160?
That's stacked there as well. Yeah. God.
But 154 is about to get hot.
It's all
154 is about to get hot.
I would recommend that he definitely stick in 154 if he able. Why not?
Now let me ask this: if if you're Tim Tszyu and you're offered the Virgil Ortiz fight, do you even entertain that fight after all these cancellations lately?
Entertain, yes, entertain.
After all the cancellations you went through with Jamel,
I wouldn't take it because I wouldn't want to train for a fight and just have it not happen.
And yeah, because he always gets sick. My bad. Yeah. We're hoping he doesn't get sick at 154. The whole point of that rhabdo is because he's boiling down. So we would, but now he's seen more as a liability. I did say that he's into that. Like, we're going to go in a training camp, spend thousands of dollars, and then 2 days before you pull out. Like,
I would say yes if he gets a nutritionist. Then
yeah.
I'd be like, hell yeah. But that's going to be in the contract.
My biggest concern with the rhabdomyolysis is it number one, is it an underlying condition, and number two, has it caused irreparable damage to his kidneys? I don't know.
Possibly that, yeah.
So I'm not even sure if the move to 154 is going to help him.
It's even going to help. Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like, I don't like it when people are saying. I'm not saying anybody in the panel said this, but I just don't like it when people say, "Well, the reason he has it is because he was cutting weight."
Yeah.
If that was true, every other boxer in boxing would have this disease.
No, cutting weight the wrong way.
Go ahead, Chris.
Is what it is.
A lot of guys cut weight the wrong way, Christine.
Yeah, but not everybody has the same genetics. Some people get cancer and some people don't. Some people have asthma.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Lady Chan. There could be some underlying condition that he has or underlying reason genetically.
I believe it is.
And that would come out.
And again, yeah.
People
could
all
come out.
Yeah, me, Christine, and Crystal could all cut weight. We could all say, all right, let's get down to just whatever, 130. One of us could, I know that'd be a stretch.
What are you trying to say, Lady Chan?
I have a bigger ass head than I do now.
One of us could be really sick from that, and two of us could just be like, all right, it's just the luck of the draw.
But like one out of, like, in the history of boxing, only he's got in rhabdo.
Yeah, but that's how life is.
That's what I'm saying.
The thing is
people are pointing. Well, let me just say this really quick, Christine, just real quick. People are pointing to the symptoms and they're acting like that's the cause. Like that's the problem here. It's my opinion.
Christine, I'm not saying that I'm right, you're wrong. I don't know.
I'm right.
But would it be fair to at least consider that possibly this could be an underlying condition that he has?
No, I think so. I think it could be. But I think what goes along with it is the way, and I don't know. So I'm not saying that I know.
I don't know either.
What I'm saying is I have seen some horrific things through my years of coaching and being around boxers. You know,
how many times have you seen rhabdo?
I have seen it. I have seen it. Absolutely. Okay. Exactly. And I've seen what was done before that. I have seen it.
I guess my question is, how often have you seen rhabdo?
Not often, but you do see it because you still have. And like I said, I'm not speaking on Virgil's camp because I don't know, but you have some of these old school boxers, coaches that they start cutting water like weeks before. And you can't do that. And I'm not saying that they did that. I'm just saying that it does happen, and I've seen it.
Yeah.
Christine, tell me if you've heard this. If you cut water too early, your body starts to hold on to it, the little bit you put into it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So your body's in starvation mode. It's in panic mode.
Panic.
And
think
it's just
about
hold on to
your organs. They're surrounded by water.
Yeah, that's
true.
Let me also ask you this, as an experienced coach.
But there's no fluid here then around the brain and the skull and all of that. All
your organs.
Yeah, all dried up basically. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Kelly.
No, I was going to ask Christine as an experienced.
Let me hear Christine say that bit. What did you say, Christine? That last bit.
Fuck the plastic. When people put plastic on. If you're going to weigh in that day and you have a couple of ounces and you can't get them off, okay, put it on. But fuck the plastic during camp, okay?
All right. So,
I'm sorry, Calix. What were you going to ask me?
Yeah, go ahead, Calix. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, how, as an experienced coach, how many days per week should a fighter be sparring?
So, in my opinion, and from what I've seen, I think 3 times a week is good. Mm-hmm. I think anything more than that, when you're not fight week, obviously, But as you're leading up, like I think 3 is good.
Okay.
All right.
Do you think you should work your way down to 2, or do you think you should stay at 3?
Yeah, you can, but it just I think it really depends. So it's hard for me to say that that's the rule because different fighters can need different work, and you're only as good as your sparring partners. And depending on who you're fighting and the caliber of the fight, the magnitude, but it shouldn't. But I know some that spar every fucking day, and I'm like, what the hell, bro?
So I hear.
And fight week, and I'm like, no,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Nando Llamas, shout out to you. Cheers, everybody. Absolute cheers to everyone. We're going to go ahead and proceed here, guys. Shout out to the chat.
Can I say one more thing? I'm sorry.
Of
Can
course,
I say one more thing, Alex? And there's also different levels of sparring. There's hard sparring. There's tic-tac. There's when you're working on certain things. So I'm not talking about all full out, like, kill the person in front of you sparring. There's different levels of sparring. Sorry, I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Good point. I like that. All right. Yeah. Look, speaking of different levels, above hardcore sparring, there's actual fights. We have a fight this weekend. Alicia Baumgardner, she's back. All right. She's going to be fighting her opponent. I cannot pronounce this. I apologize. Linardatou.
Linardatou? Is it Linardatou?
Yeah.
Linardatou. There you go. I knew that. I was just testing you. You know what I mean? That's all it was. She's going to be a fighter. This is a rematch. She did have a win over Alicia Baumgardner a while back. Alicia since then has knocked out her, Terry Harper, had a big win over, as we know, against Mayer. She became undisputed, and now she has a shot at redemption here at avenging her losses. Will be in her hometown and all that. Crystal, is she going to get redemption here? She's a big favorite, right? But should she be a big favorite in this fight? And do you think she's going to win it?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch the first fight. Okay, I did not do my homework on this one. Okay, but let me tell you that Baumgardner has really grown. Right, she have really grown over the last, I would say, last 2 or 3 fights. Actually, I'm not sure what she changed in her camp to make that happen, but her skill set seemed to be much improved from when I first see her. And her strength, it must be much more powerful than I think. Right? She looked like she has some more muscle within her body. So I would love to see her win. Why not? I want to see her win so that, we can get another rematch, perhaps with Michaela.
Okay. All right. Alex, Baumgardner, does she win the rematch here in your opinion? And that's about it. Or what
13-1 favor. She's gonna roll. I think she's gonna win this easily. And they need to do the Michaela Mayer rematch next because it's the biggest fight out there for both fighters. It's a rivalry. Do the rematch.
I got a little bit of bad news for you. So Mayer says she's moving up again.
She moved up, yeah.
Where's she going?
She's moving up. She said, and this is her words. I'm gonna let my body fill out. Everybody says I'm too skinny because I never let myself fill out. She said, she's moving up in a weight class. And so she's moving on to like 140, 147 over there. Like she's
not going to the gold. Let's not go to the Golden Corral, man.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
The money's with the Alicia, right?
Yes.
At least right now, yeah.
And revenge is there too.
Yeah.
Lady Chen, what do you got in this fight? And did you agree that she should pursue that Mayer rematch after this one?
Okay, so I'm like Crystal. I didn't see the Linardatou first fight.
I don't think anybody did, actually.
Not many. We can go back. I will absolutely go back and watch it. But I mean, Linardatou's coming off a long layoff. She's had a baby. Filled with a lot of estrogen at the moment. Testosterone has left the building. So I don't know if I think that Alicia's going to beat her in a nice, comfy points decision. And yeah, definitely unanimously, I think. Also, Mayer's going up to 140, 147. Always
But
been a big
she said she had her moved up to 135. Said, I'm not waiting on Katie. Katie is too busy. She's got the Chantel fight and Serrano. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to move up, she said.
Yeah. She can go 140, 147, McCaskill. She got to get the girls up there.
I hope she fights Tasha Jonas. Someone like Tasha Jonas.
Well, let me ask you this, Lady Chan. Let me ask you this, Lady Chan. I think she beats 147 girl McCaskill. I know, like,
you know how I feel about that. That's why you're asking me, because you know how I feel about the McCaskill style. I do not like it. It's one of the ugliest fight styles I've seen in my whole entire fucking life.
So is it a bad idea? She could become welterweight champion of the world overnight.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrid. Mayer will beat her every day and twice on a fucking Sunday.
Lady Chan.
Fact. It's
I don't know what time it is.
Go up there, go for the don't forget the smaller girls. She's got generous dimensions. She's a tall girl. She could fill out. She don't have to drain herself so much, and she's fundamentally sound. And yeah, she could cause a lot of havoc up. 140, 147. Be over there. Do what Tasha Jonas did. They went up. She can even go to 54. Women have got the luxury, especially if you got kind of generous dimension. They got the luxury to bounce up and down. It doesn't affect us as much as it does with men, because women
she said men with some
no, because
you
I think,
men.
I think Kristen and Crystal will understand. Just being a woman,
That's misandry.
In a 10-pound radius. 1 minute you could be 135, then you could be 140. If you're not eating that much, you'd be 130. Anything 140, 150, whatever.
The hormones too.
Yeah, whatever your 10-pound bracket is, 140.
I don't want to get too graphic with the hormones, but
yeah. So I find that it's easier, and the divisions are thin, so it's easier for women to go up, collect a title, and do what they're doing. We've been seeing it, so I'm all for it. Move up. The Baumgardner fight part 2. I wouldn't harp on it. I think it will come back around at some point, because it's going to be that fight where everybody's going to tell Baumgardner, why don't you rematch? Because it was so close and it was so tight. I don't think that Mayer should harp on it. Just go and do what she got to do. Go collect a couple more. Go and collect a couple straps at the higher weight. Natasha Jonas is going to be leaving the booty soon. So, she'll be out because she's nearly 40. She's going to be out. So, to go and do that and then circle back around for Baumgardner. Baumgardner's a friend of the show, so I don't want to go too in, but I have to tell the truth. Do you know what I mean? We want to see that fight, mi hermana. We want to see it because that was mad tight.
Yeah, for sure. Christine, Baumgardner, is she going to win this rematch?
So I'm kind of laughing at myself because something that
Lady laughing at me.
No, because you said Mayer shouldn't harp on it. Girl, women don't forget shit. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. So we can forget, but we're not forgetting. So she's gonna keep harping on it.
Yeah,
doesn't understand. That's why people swipe left on him.
You guys know too. We don't forget nothing. But I believe that Baumgardner is going to win this one, and the reason why Linardatou, whatever, like Lady Chan said, she had a baby, and then she had an issue with her eye. I guess the first fight that was supposed to happen. No matter what, it's always in the back of a fighter's mind. Like if they have an injury. That's number 2. And number 3, I really have seen such a confidence from Alicia that I didn't see before. I did think that the Mayer fight should have been a draw, but you know what? Whatever. Maybe I was biased, but I do believe that she's going to win this fight. And I'm so happy that Mayer's going up because I want to see McCaskill out of there.
Oh yes. Honey, we shared that.
Does McCaskill fight her?
Awful. Horrible fighter.
For the money, I think she fight her.
He's a horrible
the first fight that she had against
Cameron.
Yeah, she yeah. Let me stop. But
I
yeah,
could go in for days on that one. I'm going to stop there.
Hey, I think. Look, I am with Calix, so I do want to see that rematch. I want to see the rematch with
it's got to
with
happen.
Mayer and
And
Baumgardner.
trust me, you tell Mayer that Alicia wants to rematch. She will come down. She has perfecting athletes on her team. Trust me, she'll get down.
Okay, all right.
Just saying.
I feel Alicia go up though. Alicia's fought in the amateurs at 147, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. Yeah, I got you.
You could go up.
Joe Habib, who do you got in this rematch? I think most people are favoring Baumgardner. She's looking really good with Tony Harrison. Good chemistry, and she's improved a lot. And what do you think is next for her?
I think Christine hit the nail right on the head with the confidence, and I think that confidence came from having good people around her. When she fought Linardatou the first time around, it was like her 7th fight. She ended up losing by split decision. But now she's going to be fighting in her backyard, so she's going to have a lot of motivation. I think she's going to feed off the crowd. And I think Tony Harrison has done a great job with her. And I'm just not a big fan of fighters fighting with artificial lenses in their eyes. I'm just not.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and I hate to say this, I'm not even sure I'd feel comfortable sanctioning this fight because of that. Antonio Margarito got that artificial lens in his eye. I think the first fight he had with Cotto was the start of that. They had the corneal abrasion. Then he had the cataracts, and the eye just went downhill from there. And then he got the artificial lens, and you saw when he fought Cotto in the rematch, his eye looked like a softball. So, yeah, I just think Linardatou at this stage is a little bit worse for wear, and I think you got one fighter going up, another fighter probably scooting down a little bit, and I think timing is everything in this sport, and I think they're crossing paths at a time where it's advantageous for Baumgardner and not so advantageous for Linardatou, in my opinion.
You prefer the Mayer rematch immediately, or maybe let it come full circle eventually?
I like the Mayer rematch, but I also like a fight for Mayer against Tasha Jonas in the UK. Because Mayer's kind of, she's made a little bit of a name for herself in the UK. She does a lot of does commentary work over there. Fought her last 2 fights over there. Bob's said that he likes having fights or female fights over in the UK because female boxing is more popular in the UK. It's just a fact, right? I think we it's pretty evident, right? So. I don't hate if she says she's going to 147, I don't hate the fight against Tasha Jonas.
Yeah. Tasha's just picked up a strap there, so why not?
Yeah, why not? Good fight.
Wasn't Jonas calling out Clarissa? Wasn't she saying something about Clarissa though?
She was. She was.
Not going to happen. Clarissa can't get down.
Yeah.
If I'm Jonas, I'd rather fight Mayer. It's she's not as big as Clarissa.
I wouldn't mind that fight.
And if Tasha fought Clarissa at 54, Tasha would get wiped off the earth. Let's just be real.
Yeah, that would be a tough ask for Tasha.
Big
that would be a tough one
as well. That'd be just be super.
Clarissa's hot right now, man. She's on a roll.
For sure.
Personality trash, but yeah, fighter.
Shout out to Clarissa. She won the SP award for Fighter of the Year. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her, man.
Sure. Beat out Tank Davis, Shakur, and
her personality betters as she gets older, and that she becomes just a nicer person. Because I know deep down it's in her.
I think when she gets older, she'll probably start to mellow out a little bit.
We need to see it.
For sure.
I think she needs a couple hugs. She needs a couple hugs.
Yeah, she needs like a big sister, like
Sonny Edwards. Sonny Edwards might give her a couple hugs.
I'm trying to give her a shout out here. Let me get the shout out out. Let me get the shout out for her. Let me get the shout out for her.
About 102 pounds. I'm 5'2".
Shout out to Clarissa Shields, won the SP award, beat out Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Tank Davis. All right. There we go. No, nobody likes Clarissa. Like, you try to shout her out, people just like whatever, bro.
It's all good.
We can't deny her accomplishments. We can't.
Yeah, I'm separating the accomplishment from the personality. But
Her personality.
I'll be honest. Hold on, Crystal, go ahead.
I think her personality have improved from where it was. If we look back 5 years ago, we in the faces of other folk, It don't matter if they opponent or not. She in the face is screaming and carrying on, right? And I feel like today she a little more calm than
more mature.
Well, that means
Johnny might give her some sunshine.
Yeah.
I have to say she kind of grew on me a little bit.
Like a wart.
I agree with Miss Christine.
I like a girl that gives me a little back talk. It keeps me on my toes.
Yeah, back talk is all good, but she look like she'll give you
Of
back
course,
over here. What's the matter
of course,
with you?
Of course,
she look like she'll give you back hands.
What's
not
the
back
matter with you, B? What's going on right here?
Of course, I steer the ship, but you know.
Oh yeah, that's what you think.
I like a challenge.
Shaking. That's fine.
Could you imagine?
Yes,
ma'am. Could you imagine Beebs dating Clarissa Shields? You would be staring no ships.
She would fold me up like a pretzel.
Old lawn chair.
She would fold me up like a pretzel.
We know Santiago wants her to like he'll just fold me like a pretzel. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Plus, shit. They say, why aren't they shit talking? Now she do the shit talking.
He's revealing his fantasies. We need to stop.
I'll say this for Clarissa. She knows how to brag when she wins something. I'll say that. She tweeted out. I'm the GOAT amongst men. I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of clever. You know what I mean? And then you had grown ass men like all like, why do you have to compare yourself to the men? Like it's
I mean, let me just say this.
And when is the SP fixing will have a female boxer and a male boxer?
Let me just say this.
Right.
Fighters like Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Andre Ward, when they hear her talk like that, it doesn't bother them because they know what it's about. They know that she's not better than them. They don't feel threatened by her.
No,
at all.
The fans get angry when they hear her do that.
Only Romero gets angry though. He feels threatened.
Well, skills like that, he's probably a little insecure about it. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? He's probably wondering to himself, can I be her?
They called him in for I heard they called him in for sparring.
Look, I want everyone to pull out their crystal ball so you can look at the future, right? At the end of 2023, who's going to be the fighter of the year?
Yeah.
Right? Who's going to be the fighter of the year? We're going to start with you, Lady Chan.
Fighter or fight?
Fighter of the year.
And this one was hard. I know everyone's going to just say off rip all their fighters. And I'm like, this one was hard because I don't know what I was thinking of the whole schedule, what we've got to see. Fighter of the year.
Tyson Fury?
Wow. Who? It's guys. Give me some. Give me some.
Can I help you?
Your crystal ball's broken or what? Like, what's
can I give you? Do you want a lifeline? Do you want a lifeline from me?
50-50. Ask the audience. I want a lifeline from Beeb. That's what we'll do.
I think it's quite obvious the winner of Spence Crawford would be fighter of the year.
Oh yeah.
Me and Beeb.
I don't think it's that obvious, but okay.
Now I feel even more dumb. Me and Beeb. Yeah, now I feel dumb. Sorry. Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Okay, but you gotta give me a name though. Who's gonna win the fight and who's gonna be fighting? You're looking at your crystal ball.
It's gonna have to be Terrence Crawford because he's gonna be double undisputed in two weights, 3-time lineal, undefeated. Three division champ, as he already is a 3-division champ, but like I'm saying, but two-time unified like that, undisputed. I mean, that accolade is big. So a future Hall of Famer. I'm gonna have to go with.
Okay.
But hang on, let me say this. But if Errol Spence, this is the thing. Does this sound bad to me? Because, in my opinion, if Errol Spence wins the fight, I wouldn't put him as fighter of the year. I know that sounds wild. Is that wrong? But does that not make sense?
No, not at all. It's not wrong.
All right. Okay. So according to your crystal ball, Terrence Crawford will be the fighter of the year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We got one for Terrence.
No, is that wrong of me feeling like that? If Spence won this fight, he wouldn't be fighter of the year.
So
in my opinion, I think it's a no-brainer. But
okay, one at a time. Crystal.
Sorry, my bad.
Crystal, who's going to be the fight of the year by the year's end?
Yeah. Simple one for me. Bud Crawford.
Okay. Bud Crawford. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That crystal ball, it shine bright. It's a TBC.
And her name's Crystal, so kind of, you know what I mean? It kind of goes, and there you go. So 2 for Bud. Okay. All right. Christina, is it that obvious for you?
That obvious, bro. And you know what? If not, then it would have to be Charlo, even though he hasn't fought because he has all the belts. I'm joking, but yeah, the winner of the Bud Crawford and Errol Spence fight.
So just like that, they're going to get that award.
Hell
like
yeah!
that.
With one fight.
Hell yeah!
I disagree actually, but okay. Like I mean, you got Bud. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's Bud for you.
It's okay.
You know, they've been saying there's something wrong with the Bud at the stores, and I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But okay. Hey, Calix, who's going to be the fight of the year in your opinion?
Completely disagree with the panel because I'm a big believer in full-time awards shouldn't be going to part-time fighters, and I think of current full-time fighters should have to at least fight twice to get an award like that. So I've just never been big on giving a fighter who's fought once an award like that. I don't. But the problem with this is, and this is the problem this year, is we're having a good year, but we're still having chronic inactivity. So I'm gonna read you the top 10 right now. Usyk's gonna fight once. Inoue's gonna fight once. Crawford's gonna fight once. Bud's gonna fight once. The only way Crawford or Bud can get it, in my opinion, is if they do the rematch within this calendar year. If that's the case and Bud wins twice, he's got it. If Errol wins twice,
who's going to win it then? Who do you think?
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a name, and it's not gonna be, but it could be mine. And Kazuto Ioka, your guy from Japan, the Emperor. And the reason I say that is he beat. He just won. Okay, he just beat our guy Josh Franco. And then if he beats Gallo Estrada, if that fight happens this year, then he's got one of the best years out there, if not the best year. He's not going to get the credit because of the division he's in. They don't give it to lower weight class guys. But if this is a fair world, who else with 2 fights has a year like that? Who?
Calix, you're too practical.
Okay. All right. I like it though. I like it. All right. I actually didn't even think about Ioka. So.
Inoue is only going to fight once.
It's good to see that Calix
is talking about Inoue, but he's going to fight once.
Hold on. It's good to see that Calix is finally acknowledging the Emperor of Japan at 115. I will say that. Joe B.
Calix reminds me of that guy that just puts a list on the refrigerator and just checks everything off every day to make sure he does everything properly. He's just so attention to detail orientated.
Right.
Yeah,
I already know. I'm going to blow up the spot on D-Style right now because I know who he's picking.
Uh-oh.
Canelo.
He's picking Tszyu, actually.
Yeah, yes.
He's picking Tszyu.
If Canelo fights, but he's going to pick Canelo.
He's in the running. He's in the running, but I'm not picking him.
But Terrence, here's the thing, Calix. This fight is the most important fight in the last 30 years. It means so much.
No, it's not.
All right, it's the most important fight in the last 40 years.
What fight are you talking about, Beeb?
I'm with you, Beeb.
Go ahead, Beeb. Go ahead. Cook.
This is a very important fight. It's the most significant fight. This is Mayweather-Pacquiao significance-wise. I love this fight. So Terrence Crawford is the fighter of the year when he wins.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, this goes to Calix. Yeah, like Ioka had only fought once until recently, Calix. So like the years, we're halfway through the year.
But he's going to fight again. He's going to fight again.
Oh, I know. So will Inoue. So
yeah.
You think Inoue's going to fight twice?
Yes. Okay. Inoue is chasing greatness. He just became undisputed last year. Mm-hmm. He went for the big fish, one division above, climbing up yet another division, find undefeated Fulton, and he will be back. And I believe he'll be at least a unified champion by the end of the year. Mm-hmm. I think Inoue will be the fight of the year.
What about Tszyu?
If that happens, I'm with you.
I would have picked Tszyu if the Jermell fight was happening. We know that fight's not happening.
The guy's gonna be fighting 4 times this year. What are you doing?
I mean,
it depends. Look, I'm looking at the crystal ball. I think Inoue is gonna
be Crawford
This guy's at a baseball schedule pace.
But I'm looking at my crystal ball right now. You guys are like
it doesn't match the magnitude.
You guys are looking at a crystal ball that ends. For some reason, you think it ends in July or something.
It does.
We still have August. We still have September. We still have October. We still have December.
Look,
Japanese fighters fight on New Year's Eve.
No.
July.
July.
He's gonna come right at the nick of time. New Year's Eve. He's gonna snatch it. He's gonna snatch that award. He's gonna snatch it from Crawford. He says
if he breaks his hand,
we'll roll you in 2024 anyway. But you know what? Sorry, it's going to be a.
Well, first of all, if Crawford loses, he ain't gonna win it anyway, right? So you'll all be wrong.
He's not going to lose.
But here's the thing. No, hold on. You guys got to say your piece. Let me say my piece. Inoue is going to win the award because he's going to beat Fulton, who's in his prime, and he's moving up to fight him. Okay, I don't hear anybody saying, "Oh, little Inoue, he's moved up so many weight classes. Why are they picking on him?" Like the way you talk about Canelo opponents. Okay, he's moving up. He's going to show you how it's done, how you move up and you beat a bigger man, and that's what Inoue is going to do. And he's going to be a unified champion by the end of the year. He's going to do it in spectacular fashion. How many divisions is this guy? I'm just saying. All right. And I think he's going to be. I think the reason he's been as inactive was because they were trying to get this Fulton fight done. They got it done. He means business. Okay, he wouldn't have to wait 6-7 years to get it either. Right? He's moving on the fast track. Okay, it's as simple as that. The part-time fighter can win the part-time award.
He's a close second.
Out to Inoue.
You can't win Fighter of the Year fighting once. You can't. I'm sorry.
I mean, you can, but
My crystal ball says you can. I'm afraid.
Done before.
Let me
all y'all.
Let me throw another name. He's not my pick. Look, he's not my pick. But what about Teofimo Lopez?
Wow.
If Teofimo Lopez gets another big fight, he just beat Josh Taylor, and if let's say he beats Haney, you're gonna put Crawford over him if he does that.
If Teofimo Lopez beats Devin Haney, I'll give it to Teo.
No,
what about Calix is not going to like this one. Calix, you're not going to like this one, but it falls under your category, right? He won't be part-time. If Tank Davis fights again and he gets a Shakur or a Haney or a Teofimo.
Go ahead.
He's fighter of the year, but my crystal ball does not see that. Absolutely not. But here's another scenario would be if Devin Haney beats Lomachenko and Regis Prograis in the same year, he's in the running too.
Oh, yeah, Haney's in the running too. Go ahead, Lady Chan. I believe you want to.
Sorry, like I said, I think I'm going by sheer impact. That's why I think it's
like, you know what you guys are saying? I think you guys misheard me.
No.
I think you thought I said, what will be the performance of the year? Right? But I'm asking for the fighter of the year.
So you
want to retract your picks?
We're going by emotion, excitement, and everything flowing. Like, bam, wow.
I haven't been this excited and have such
since
a
Christmas
level of anticipation for a fight since I was 18.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. I turned down money to go somewhere.
Can Canelo can Canelo sneak in and just like beat your mouth and then come back in December and beat like Benavidez or something and sneak it in like by some miracle?
Got me out of my mind. No, sorry. No. It's a no. No, stop.
Nando Yama says, "Well, the fight of year 2022 fight in 2023." That's Bivol, right? I don't know what's up with Bivol.
He has no personality, but he's cool.
How many times did Bivol fight in 2022?
Twice.
I love Bivol.
Did he fight twice?
He beat Canelo and beat Zurdo.
Yeah.
Oh, Zurdo. What was Zurdo in October or November or something?
I believe it was October.
Yeah, October.
Yeah.
That was a good win too. The Zurdo win.
Very good win. Yeah. I love it.
Sure.
I love it.
Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Shout out to Lady Chan. Thank you so much for joining us and all that. Everybody subscribe to our channel. Crystal, thank you so much for making your debut on the Roundtable. Hope to have you back on in the future. In the room, Christine, thanks for coming on. Calix, like always, and Joe Habib. Next week, Ringside Reporter. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Let us know what you think in the comment sections, and we're out. Peace.
Thanks. Bye, guys.